playing video games is like having an 8-inch dick. That's what
it's pretty much exactly
all
the same
the
thing.
sexy women on the internet tell me.
Welcome to Outrage Factory, the #1 podcast on the internet where we talk about people who are angered by things on the internet. I'm your co-host, Jeff.
I'm your other co-host, Dale DeRuiter.
Dale.
Dale DeRuiter. I keep listening to podcasts and I keep finding ones that like do radio voice. And I'm like, maybe I should step up my voice for the podcast. I was like, no, that annoys me when other people would do it. So I don't want to annoy other people.
And it's hard to maintain too, right? Like,
oh my God, yeah.
I could do it for a couple of minutes. But, I could do this for a couple of minutes. And then all of a sudden I'd get bored of it and have to move on to a different voice.
I might have to turn my own headphones down because my own voice is too loud. And then I'm like second guessing it. But yeah. I wanted to do a little bit of housekeeping.
Yeah, that's housekeeping.
I don't know, because like so much happened this last week. I'm like, oh, we should record every week, but I just can't because my toddler, I blame everything on. But it's just like, I don't know, I feel guilty sneaking away from my kid like too often, but it's like,
man, dad duties are a real thing. Luckily, my guy's 15 and he's been on the toilet for 12 to 18 minutes so far. So
not bad.
Yeah, dude.
Turning into a man.
He loves his poops. Yeah,
getting just hiding big in there. Man poops.
yeah. So, those toddler days are long behind us now, and so while I understand because I've been through it, I'm on the other end of the spectrum where I can't get him to spend time with me.
Oh, I listen to the cats in the cradle.
It was on a TV show we were watching the other day, and it came on. Yeah, and I was like, "Oh no, it's happening."
I was watching a stand-up comedian, and he was like, "I'm just starting to think it might be easier to just be sad when I'm older."
Yeah, totally. I saw that one too. That was pretty funny.
Yeah. So, anyways, back to what I was talking about. What I was thinking was like, because it was like, when this Luigi Mangione news broke, when he was still the claims adjuster, which I don't know if that's what people are calling him, but I heard one person call him that, and it's fucking badass as shit. So I'm just gonna call him the claims adjuster.
Yeah, it's a pretty good nickname. For those of you who don't know what we're talking about, Luigi Mangione.
Well, I'm gonna get into it. Wait.
Oh, okay, all right.
I got it all applied out. Just hold on. But anyway, so like the story breaks and I'm like, oh, we got to talk about this. And then like little bits of facts come out and I'm like, holy shit, more stuff's coming out. And then I'm kind of glad we didn't do it because now he's been arrested because we know his name. So they figured out who it was. But there was like a hot couple days there when everybody's like, who is this guy? What's going on? And
the mystery assassin. Everywhere. Yeah.
And totally. But now it's even worse. Like absolutely every podcast is talking about it, which is good. Because it makes me be able to research without reading, but I did read a couple articles just so I could get a timeline going. But it's nice, and it's like, and then I was like, wait, is too many people talking about this? And I was like, no, wait, people need to hear Jeff and Dale weigh in on Luigi Mangione.
Jeff, who gets his news from memes. Yeah, let's go.
Well, there's tons of memes about Luigi Mangione.
So many memes. Yeah,
dude, when I found out he was like, had the most Italian name, I was so fucking pumped because there's 2 accents that I can actually do, and that's Italian. It's Italiano and Russian. I like British and Australian accents. I just can't do them.
Yeah. For my new job, I can't do Australian accents anymore. It's off.
Oh, you work in Australia?
I work for an Australian-based company.
That's a long commute.
It's a lot. It's 18 hours every day to Perth and back. So.
And sorry if I'm coming in hot. I had to drink a Red Bull right before I potted because I was tired as shit because of dad duties. So now I'm just going to be overbearing and just steamroll Jeff. And
that's fine. You can steamroll me any day.
Just talk the whole time.
I've been noticing. I make a lot of like horny references to you every podcast.
Nice.
You're like, I'm just gonna steamroll Jeff. Like, you can steamroll me any day. And then, like last week, I'm like, you have fetching eyes. I'm like, I'm just horny for Dale, I guess.
That's why this works. Because you want to fuck me.
I guess I'm like, that was one of the memes that I saw. I was on the SkyTrain And one of the memes that I saw about Luigi Mangione was I was like just scrolling through and it's like, good luck trying to find 12 jurors who don't want to fuck Luigi Mangione. I
It's
was like,
true. The guy is a babe.
dude, he's ripped. He's got like super abs. I have
And it's
two
it's
abs,
funny
but
because
that's it.
somebody was like, I was listening to it, and when they found out who he was, and then they found out his social media, and on his social media, he has this picture of like
Shirt off.
his fucking cum gutters and abs, and they're like, he's awkwardly attractive for a murderer.
Man, this is not the first time the internet has gone crazy for somebody who killed somebody. Remember
Yeah.
that dude that got a modeling contract from his mugshot?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, there's like this
The
lot.
guy
This
with
is like
the
a
fetching eyes.
there's a long history of the internet being horny for killers. So I think we're good. Even pre-internet people were horny for killers. That Jeffrey Dahmer is really hot. Like,
Yeah.
dude, seriously.
Wasn't he played by? Oh no, he wasn't the guy.
Oh, in the Netflix series,
Who did Zac Efron play? He played a murderer. Was that Ted Bundy?
Ted Bundy. Yeah,
Who did you say?
yeah.
Dahmer?
No, no, I said Dahmer. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh, he was played by that guy off
Horny for
American
Dahmer.
Horror Story.
Yes, that's right. I don't know
Who's
his
like,
name.
that guy's got to be so messed up after like 13 seasons of
Could,
American Horror Story.
could you imagine? Yeah, and then just going straight into playing Dahmer after that.
Yeah,
I'm
and he
like,
started when he was like 17.
yeah, he's like Heath Ledger Jr.
Yeah.
Jesus. Okay.
Okay.
I
So the way I
interrupted you.
worked this out
Yeah.
was I was looking for a timeline for the day of Luigi Mangione.
So are you gonna tell people what he did?
I'm gonna
Okay.
we're gonna
Not that
explain that right now, Jeff.
Okay.
So what happened was I was gonna try like find a timeline of the day when he actually killed the CEO, but then I found USA Today had this dope ass timeline that gives some backstory. It starts like in 2016 and talks about Luigi Mangione.
He loves it. He
I will
loves to say it.
try to not say his name that way every single time, but I'll probably say it that way every single time. So if you hate
You're,
my Italiano accent, you should probably not be listening to this podcast.
you're alienating our Italian Canital friends,
So
listeners.
before we get into it, should I just say what happened?
Yes, do that. Just give
Okay.
frame it with some context and then rip in.
Okay, so I'll say what happened and then we'll go back.
Yeah.
So some people, it's funny because I thought everybody knew about this. And I went to this guy at work. I was like, bro, you know about the CEO murder? He's like, what? And I was like,
Yeah.
wait, what? Are you not on the internet? And I'm like, forget that I work with trades dudes who just don't go on the internet. Dude,
That's
the
wild.
guys I work with are still using Snapchat.
Oh my
And they're
God.
27.
What the hell?
Who uses Snapchat still?
I don't even have that app anymore. I probably
I
have an
know,
account,
because
but
we're all like, every single other app is better.
yeah, totally.
Like Facebook has stories.
Yeah.
Just use that.
Yeah, just use that. Just use that. Yeah, basically every other major platform issued a similar competing product that's
Yeah.
better than Snapchat.
It's like, how is not everybody in a Facebook group where you just say awful shit to each other, or a Facebook Messenger group?
How many of those are you in?
Oh, like 8?
Yeah, I was gonna say, yeah.
I'd
I
say,
opened TikTok today for the first time in like months.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, this Luigi Mangione, there I said it normal. You're welcome.
Wow, you did.
Is
Nice.
all over TikTok, but I didn't want to cite too much TikTok because there was some stuff like I cited on one point because it was funny, but I feel like there's just so much like misinformation, but like the actual real life non woke description of misinformation where they just tell you shit that's wrong.
Yep.
So I didn't cite any of that. So, anyways, going back to what actually happened on December 4th at 6:45 a.m. in Midtown Manhattan, outside a hotel. Oh fuck! I didn't even write down this guy's name. I just wrote down his.
The
Hold on.
CEO guy?
Brian Thompson, the CEO of UnitedHeathcare, was shot dead by a mysterious assailant who was wearing a mask. And it was crazy. Like, I don't even know if you could still see the video, but it's like Brian Mangione's wearing like a blue. I don't know why it matters, but he's wearing like a blue blazer. Sorry?
You mixed up both their names. You called him Brian Mangione.
Did I?
Yes.
Oh shit.
Which is very confusing for the folks.
And it's Brian Thompson is the blandest name ever.
Yeah, it totally is.
So since I'm a super basic bitch, I should be able to
say
remember.
Mangione at every opportunity.
I just want to say Brian Thompson. See, it doesn't
It doesn't
sound
work.
the same.
Yeah. It's not the same.
But so anyways, he's wearing like this blue blazer that I guess it just stands out because it makes
Yes.
a striking image. And then the mysterious assailant, which we'll just call him right now, he walks up to him, shoots him once in the leg, and then his gun jams. So he like you see him in the video, he's like cocking it, and he shoots him in the back, and then his gun jams again, I think, and he just like cocks it,
Low
and then he
quality
shoots him
guns.
again. I don't know where the third bullet hit him. Brian Thompson dies in the hospital. He was in critical condition, dies in the hospital. And then the mysterious assailant just walks across the street into an alley, gets on an e-bike, and is gone.
Disappears.
And that's what we got.
Yeah.
December 4th, midday, people are like, can you see the shit? And it's funny because it's like nobody knew anything.
Yeah.
All they knew was Brian Thompson, the CEO of UnitedHeathcare, was gunned down midtown Manhattan, which is like the rich part where like white people don't get murdered.
Mm.
And it was in broad daylight, and there's like somebody walked past the assailant and he just like ignored him and then shot Brian. So it's obviously targeted. And
Yeah.
everybody's like, oh, it's the fucking United Healthcare. It's one of the most corrupt, shittiest healthcare providers, like insurance. And
Yeah.
they have like the highest denial rate of like 35% of all claims are denied. And everybody's like, obviously, the mysterious assailant either has medical trouble that was rejected or knows somebody who was rejected and just shot him for that.
Yeah.
So that's all we knew. So I'm going to go back. And then on December 9th, Luigi Mangione is arrested in McDonald's in Altoona, Pennsylvania. So that's the bookends. This is where we came in. He shot a guy. This is where he's arrested. So let's go back to 2016. Do you want to weigh in before we get started? Should we just talk about how hot Luigi was for a bit?
No, man, keep it going.
Oh wait, I just want to say one thing because it
No,
doesn't
go
really
for it.
fit in the timeline. So somebody on I think it was Facebook posted a meme and it was like Luigi hats, like Luigi from Mario and Luigi on Amazon, and underneath it said 100,000 sold today. And I was like, holy shit, I got to see if this is real, like, or if somebody just photoshopped it. So I looked up the Luigi toque
Yeah.
on Amazon and it was the number one bestseller, but my Amazon didn't tell me how many units were sold. And I was like,
No way.
that's badass. And apparently,
Yeah.
like the jacket that
Yeah.
Luigi was wearing when he murdered him, because he was wearing like a green Levi's jacket over a hoodie. Apparently, that's selling out everywhere, and it's like a
Yeah,
Levi's.
there's
Oh no,
so
wait, the hoodie's a Levi's hoodie,
out
and that's
everywhere.
selling out
Yeah.
everywhere. And then like people are buying all these like jackets that look the same. Okay, so we start back at two. Oh wait,
Yeah. Bro's a
actually,
folk hero now.
oh sorry, what? Did you say Luigi's a folk hero now?
Bro's a folk hero now.
Yeah, you're cutting
Yeah,
in and
yeah,
out,
totally.
so
I know.
it's
Sorry,
nice
man.
because I won't have to interrupt you. I can just talk.
Yeah.
Okay, so we start back because everybody's but like okay, let's just pretend you haven't heard, and if you have heard all this stuff, I'm sorry. So Luigi Mangione's grandpa, Nicholas Mangione Sr., made a name for the family developing real estate, including a 1,000-acre golf club and resort hotel. According to his obituary on FamilySearch.org, he also owned 2 hotels, 7 nursing homes, and 2 talk radio stations. That's just background saying that this kid is fucking rich, which I don't know. It's like like I like to give all the background of Luigi because one of the weirdest thing about this is it's like this good looking, I think he's like 24, 26, young guy who looks like he had the world was his oyster and he just threw it all away to commit murder. And it's
For
like
good
he's
reason.
rich. He went to private school. It's crazy. Okay.
So you think he could have got a gun that didn't jam?
Oh, the reason it jammed was because he made it himself.
Oh, there you go.
It was a 3D printed
3D
gun,
printed
but he had
gun?
like
Yeah.
the slide was metal.
Yeah.
So that's another crazy thing is this dude's also super duper smart. Okay. So this history I took notes off of USA Today. Also, teaser, I'm gonna read Luigi Mangione's manifesto. Don't worry,
Ooh.
it's not fucking 262 pages long. because they found his notebook.
But are there
But
hard words in it?
no.
Okay, good.
Wait, what are
Just
hard
checking.
words? Oh yeah, there's
You
hard
know,
words in it. He was smart.
multi-syllabic words that
And
Dale
it
has trouble with.
and it's funny because when I read it, you'll be like, wow, this guy sounds eloquent. Why would he throw it away for murder?
Because sometimes you got to kill a CEO to get ahead in life.
Yeah, this wasn't a thrill. Actually, it might have been a
It might have
thrill
been a
kill.
thrill kill. Yeah.
I guess it was kind of like a revenge killing,
Right.
but not a personal revenge killing, just
Right.
what Brian
Yeah.
Thompson represented.
Totally.
So in 2016, sorry,
No, go ahead.
I'm going to start the timeline. I'll edge
Giddy
lording
up.
aside. 2016, Luigi Mangione graduated from the prestigious Gilman School, an independent all-boys K-12 school in North Baltimore, and he was a valedictorian.
Oh.
So, bro was smart.
Yeah, bro, smart. Yeah,
Because
top of the class.
And it's like, it's not like one of those dumpy high schools where everybody's done. So he was just dumb. So he wasn't just valedictorian by default. Like, this is like, I said the word prestigious, but it was. Like, I don't know anything about it personally, but all the podcasts I listened to, they're like, this is pretty hoity-toity.
Yeah.
He must have been rich because this was before they knew about his family background and stuff.
Yeah, totally.
So in 2018, Luigi posts about Lyme disease he got when he was 13 and missed tryouts for a soccer team, which you're like, Dale, who gives a fuck if he missed soccer? But to a 13-year-old rich boy, that's a big deal. So he misses out on tryouts so he doesn't make the soccer team. And then he said he had cognitive decline at age 15 and symptoms worsened in 2017. I don't know about you guys, but when I was 15 fucking years old, I was a like hard R retard. I was dumb as shit.
I was pretty smart at 15.
Like, I might have been smart, but I did not give a fuck about letting anybody know how smart I was or learning stuff. I just wanted to play video games and think about space.
Yeah, I was playing hockey and competitively and working out and shit by the time I was 15. So I don't know if I was necessarily smart per se, but I was driven at 15 for sure.
I think I started working out at 15 because I played lacrosse.
Yeah.
I think I played lacrosse when I was 15 and 16. And I started working out. Okay.
But I definitely wasn't letting people know how smart I was. I was getting made fun of for studying on road trips, on hockey road trips. But anyway, that's what's for another
bookworm.
Time.
I definitely was not.
Yeah.
Studying at all.
Yeah, the other guys were gambling on the bus, and I was reading books.
It's funny because I'm basically exactly the same as us 15. I'm just more self-aware and I've done introspection. I still just want to think about space and play video games all day.
Yeah.
And kiss my daughter on the forehead.
Aw.
That's the only new thing in my life.
Nice. I do think about space pretty frequently though. So you're right. Yeah,
I mean, it's fucking space. That shit is rad.
Man. Yeah, it's space.
Dude, it's to the point now.
I wonder if he's thinking about other girls. I'm thinking about space. And like, if I left my family to go to space, would I do that? Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
It's so bad now that like when I'm going to watch like a show, I'm like, is there space or fantasy or monsters or superheroes in it? And if it's just like reality, I'm like, no, fuck that.
Dude.
Yeah.
Total side note, and this probably should be an offline, not podcast thing. There's a movie on Netflix right now called 65. That's an Adam Driver sci-fi.
Oh, movie. I watched that.
Oh, you did? Yeah. Did you get the premise of it? It harkens back to everything we talk about. It's that takes place 65 million years ago when the big asteroid hits Earth. Mm-hmm. Spoiler alert! Fucking just ruined it for everybody.
And it's like
I watched it and I immediately thought of you and I'm like, I should text Dale. And then it's like 2:00 in the morning and I'm like, I need to go to sleep.
Yeah, you are always hitting on me. You're like, hey, I watched Adam Driver run away from a fucking Tyrannosaurus Rex.
Yeah, totally. Right. That was a great movie, by the way.
Text from 2 a.m. My phone rings. Hey, Dale, there's this Adam Driver movie where he's running through the jungle. He's all sweaty. And the colors are all desaturated.
Thirsty 2 a.m. heavy breath text messages from Jeff. You can hear the heavy breathing in the text message.
And you know how good this movie is? I hate Adam Driver.
Yeah,
He's
it was
one of
funny.
those actors who always looks wet, and for some
He
reason that
does always
bugs
look
me.
wet. He always looks wet. You're
Like,
totally
bro,
right. Yeah.
figure
Why
out
are you wet?
your gut biome.
Yeah.
Why are you always looking wet?
Yeah.
Meanwhile, I've got this like shiny face in the pod. Anyways,
Sorry. Wait, you're right though. He looks wet all the time. Like,
the
why are you
movie's
wet?
good
Why?
enough that I'm like, I hate
I need
Adam
to run
Driver, but I
away.
love this movie.
The movie was really good. Anyway,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay, now we're on to 2019. He
Yeah.
spends a summer at Stanford University working on a collegiate
Pre-collegiate. Collegiate.
collegiate
Collegiate.
collegiate
Col-
collegiate
collegiate.
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 Fuck you, English.
I told you. For the folks at home,
Like 6 syllables.
Dale said there were no hard words in this, and then he got hung up on collegiate like a second later.
I haven't even got to the manifesto yet.
Yeah. Dale went to college, so like,
I
he should get the word
bachelor's
He has a
degree
bachelor's degree
in journalism.
and he can't say collegiate. Oh my god, dude! I worked with a guy who had he was working on his doctorate, and when he talked to you like in real life, like when he was talking, he would say things like, "I seen this guy the other day." I'm like, dude, you're getting a doctorate. You can't say "I seen." You're literally writing a PhD thesis.
That's so funny.
Yeah.
Smack the smart. Sorry, my hair's just.
Beautiful.
I should go back to wearing the headphones.
Beautiful.
Because it makes my hair look. Anyways, it covers my hair. Anyways,
I don't even have any hair.
So he was a counselor at that collegiate program.
At the collegiate program, okay.
Yeah. And then in 2020, Mangione graduated cum laude, which
cum laude.
What's that mean? Like the dean's list?
Cum laude, yeah, it's like really high up. Like
I know it means you're smart. It's what?
Top of the class.
Top of the class.
Top of the class to you.
So he graduates top of the class from the University of Pennsylvania, studying engineering and applied sciences, and was a member of the Phi Kappa Psi fraternity. I'm just telling you all this. So he was like just a total rich boy.
You're painting the picture. Yeah. Dude's like, yeah, with honors.
Just like, this total like privilege. Oh, fuck, I hate saying woke words, but he basically had all the extra trappings of a rich white kid, except for the Lyme disease he got when he was 13 and then had fucking cranial melting when he was 15.
That's no joke, man. My cousin has that.
What?
My cousin has Lyme disease. It's terrifying.
Oh shit. Is he allergic to red meat? Do you want to hear a funny side note?
Sure.
Sometimes Lyme disease makes you allergic to red meat, so you can't eat beef.
Yeah.
But you can still eat human.
Ooh, long pig.
Yeah, nice. There you go. I think you can also eat pork.
I'm allergic to beef, right? I don't have Lyme disease, but I'm allergic to beef.
You're allergic to beef?
Yeah, it's like a hereditary thing. My dad has it, and my son has it too.
Is that why you're vegetarian?
Yep.
Oh,
yeah.
I've known you for fucking 20 years, and I'm
25
years. I find this out now.
I don't tell a lot of people that because it's a weird thing. Because people always question it. It's like, you're allergic to beef? That's not real. I'm like, it's fucking real, and I get it. Like, so,
you're probably like, you're not allergic to beef.
Yeah, I get that.
And then some boomers like, nobody was allergic to beef when I was a kid.
My dad, he's still like, he's allergic to beef, and he'll still eat like a hamburger, and he'll get a swollen tongue and like, minor anaphylaxis, and he'll just do it anyway. Like, you fucking old weirdo. Anyway,
this just sounds all sexual. Every time I eat beef, I get a swollen tongue.
I get swollen. I get swollen parts of me swell.
So we're talking about hamburgers and not peepees, right?
Yeah, not people. That's right. I'm allergic to people.
We're used to your mother jokes on here, not your dad eating beef and getting a swollen tongue. It's like, geez, Dad, stop sucking so hard, and you wouldn't.
Shit. Oh god.
So Luigi Mangione is such a nerd that when he's in this fraternity, he also funds a video game development club, which I guess in 2020 isn't that nerdy because video games are totally cool and chicks dig guys who play video games.
Their way. Video games are they do. They very much do. Yeah.
Playing video games is like having an 8-inch dick. That's
it's pretty much exactly
all the sexy women on the internet tell me.
That's what they tell Dale.
All hot singles in my area looking for video game players.
Nice. Yeah,
And he
I don't think
starts,
that's true.
yeah, it's not. So in 2020, he starts working as a
See,
data
it's
engineer
getting
at,
less sexy the more you talk about
yeah.
this.
So in 2020, he starts working as a data engineer at TrueCar, which is a nerdy dumb job. 2022, Mangione. Okay, I was in love with Mangione. This kind
Oh,
of makes me hate him a
oh,
little bit. In 2022, Mangione spends the first 6 months in Honolulu at a cooperative living space called Surf Break. I'm not even going to pretend that I'm not
your privilege is showing, man, Jody.
jealous to
Yeah,
the
a
point of
surf.
rage right now.
It would
Where
be
you're,
better if it was called Point Break, and then I'd be.
yeah, you're still in, like, he still has his job
Yeah,
at TrueCar as a data engineer.
yeah,
This is during lockdown, isn't it?
yeah.
2022.
Yep, totally it
Oh, that
is.
makes more sense. So he's like working
He's
from
double
home. He's like,
dipping.
wait, I'm
Yeah,
rich.
yeah.
I'm gonna go to Honolulu and
I'm
work
gonna
from home.
I'm gonna go to Honolulu and live in a co-op community where we surf all day.
Wait,
Yeah,
if
fuck
it's
you.
lockdown, oh yeah. So, and another thing too is
Hey,
probably around this
you remember
time.
lockdown didn't apply to rich people.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah,
Or politicians.
or politicians.
So at some point, Luigi Mangione breaks his back in a surfing accident.
Oh, that's
That
what
that
that X-ray is. Then that makes
yeah,
sense.
that
Then.
wasn't something I could find.
Yeah,
I didn't find like, hey, I broke my back doing surfing. It was like just what people said about him because like Jeff was saying on his Twitter account, his like photo on top is an X-ray of his back with
yeah.
plates and
But
staples in
it
it.
was like a Pokemon, the plate thing, and then like a thirst trap photo of him with no shirt on.
Yeah, that's where we all saw
The
the
abs.
abs
We
and
all
we're
saw the
like,
abs.
did the claims adjuster just adjust my
He
sexuality?
did. He
Because
did.
damn.
I have to adjust after that. Jesus.
Yeah, so when he's at this living space, um
I keep calling it a living space.
well, it was a cooperative living space
Yeah, it's
called
a
Surf Break.
funny.
So, anyways,
Yeah.
he's there and he like complains about how he has like back pain and he's gonna need a surgery. And then he goes radio silent to this guy, I can't remember his name, Martin or something. He was Mangione just went radio silent and didn't talk to this guy anymore. He's like, all right. So in 2023, Mangione quits his job at TrueCar, and then they found Reddit posts show Mangione posted online that his back and hips lock up after the accident, and this is like quote, back and hips locked up after the accident, and my whole lumbar hips have been out of whack since then. So this is probably, so I'm guessing in between 2022 and 2023 is when he had this
Yeah.
alleged surf accident.
Yeah.
And then in another post, he wrote about suffering bladder and genital pain, back pain, and sciatica after the back injury. He experienced numbness in his groin and bladder and below the right knee.
I get that sometimes.
So you're starting to see why a guy who has a numb groin would be interested in receiving proper health care.
Yeah.
All that other shit, whatever. My bladder doesn't work, I don't care. But as soon as my groin goes numb,
Right.
yo, doc.
When you have abs like that, you can't have your groin go numb.
Oh, no.
No. There's certain expectations when you have abs like that. The groin stays not numb.
Oh, and friend of the show, um, call it or grilled cheese killer on Twitter.
Oh
She
yeah.
was saying something about when she had something wrong with her back. The doctors told her that she might poop herself and not be able to tell. So
What? Oh
that's
man,
just
I don't want.
horror. Like
I don't want.
if you're like bottom goes numb,
Yep. You can't tell if you're doing the poops
I
and the
don't know if it's
pees.
because you can't clench
Yeah.
or
Oh,
if
maybe.
your
Yeah,
body
because you have no
doesn't know you're
function
going to
on
and you
that.
just boop, boop, boop
Yeah.
like a
Just all of a sudden
horse.
you have a warm sensation in your body and you're just like,
Yeah.
what oh, I crap myself again.
Let's just call it living like a horse to be
Living
nice
like a
about it.
horse. Okay. I'm cool
Just
with that.
pooping everywhere.
Yeah,
No
just
control.
just walking and plopping.
So in August, he wrote in a subreddit dedicated to spondylolisthesis, spondylolisthesis,
Wow.
which is basically your fucking back's fucked up.
Yeah.
It's a condition that, according to the Mayo Clinic, Occurs when spinal bones slip out of place and could cause chronic and lower back pain.
I always thought the Mayo Clinic's a weird name for a medical facility.
Yeah. Would you
Yeah.
also make mayonnaise?
Yeah, and getting some sandwiches. Let's get some
Also, if it's named
sandwiches.
after some dude whose last name was Mayo,
Yeah,
name
like
it something else.
yeah, name it
Because
something
I'm
else.
like Jeff. I'm like,
What's your first name? Because all I can think about is sandwiches right
yeah,
now.
the Mayo Clinic. Oh, you mean Subway? What are you
Yeah.
talking about?
Yeah. I gotta stop at the Mayo Clinic real quick. It's lunchtime. Yeah.
It's lunchtime. Yeah.
Lunchtime.
So Martin, the guy from the Living Space co-op Surf Living Space from Hawaii, checks in via text with Mangione after he'd left the Hawaii earlier that summer, and he sent me back pictures of his back surgery. So he's like Martin's like, "Hey, bro, haven't seen you around. Did you watch this movie 65 with Adam Driver in it?" And then Mangione just sends back a picture of his fucked up back, and he's like, "I got
I,
bigger things to worry about."
I can't watch movies because my lower body is numb and I got these abs and I gotta fuck and now I can't.
Right?
Yeah.
Okay, so now we're into 2024.
Okay. Current
Something that
times.
everybody keeps pointing out is Mangione gives the Unabomber Manifesto 4 out of 5 stars on Goodreads, which
I don't know. Is it a good read? Because
I'm not reading that.
maybe it's a good read. Maybe he
It's
just
like
enjoyed it.
300 pages, isn't it?
I don't have time to read some crazy guy's manifesto. Just give me
Yeah.
the
Oh,
Cole's
you
Notes
were in
version of it.
MK Ultra and your brain doesn't work and you
Yeah.
hate technology?
Oh,
That's all I need to know.
thank you for the summary.
Yeah.
Now I don't have to read the manifesto. That's fantastic. Thanks, Dale.
In May, Mangione reposted another social media user's post related to healthcare, according to Business Insider. So this is just sorry I copied and pasted right from USA
Okay.
Today, plagiarizing, but they attribute each quote. So, anyways, it says, "My experience with the medical profession." And yours is probably similar, is that doctors are basically worthless unless you carefully manage them. And 2 out of 3 of them are worthless even in that case.
Wow.
So Mangione didn't make this post; he just
He
reposted
just
that.
reposted it. Yeah.
So you could kind of see where
Where he's going with it.
the murder wheels are starting to
The
turn.
murder wheels are turning.
In November, Mangione's mother reports him missing to San Francisco police 2 weeks before the shooting. The only annoying thing about copying and pasting this from USA Today is they're like, was he living in San
I was just going to
Francisco?
ask you that. I'm like, didn't
Do
this
we
whole
know?
take place in Midtown Manhattan? What are we talking about Northern California for?
Yeah, and it's funny because like another thing about this story that's super weird is a lot of like legacy media is not giving you all of the info
Yeah, yeah.
because like with
They're
the
sponsored by the
manifesto I'm
healthcare
going to read
provider.
later,
Yeah,
if you went to the police and got the manifesto, the police were like, "We're only giving to you to this, or we're only giving this to you if you don't post the whole thing, and
right.
you only post these approved
These approved
quotes from it."
portions of it. Yeah.
And they also, and like New York Times was like, "Okay, guys, we're not posting this guy's pictures anymore." And my theory is he's just too good looking.
Yeah, they
And
don't.
his
Yeah,
manifesto kind of makes too much sense. So it's just going to get sympathy from people.
yeah.
And no jury's going to like not want
He's
to fuck him, like Jeff said before.
he's hot and he's making a cogent point about the healthcare system.
And it's like, wait,
We got to
the
shut this
healthcare
motherfucker
system
down.
is garbage.
Yeah, totally. I did, however, see an article the other day about how uh, GoFundMe is now considered technically a healthcare utility.
Oh
It's
yeah, because so many
yeah,
people
because so
use
many
it.
people use it for that. So like, I mean,
That's they'll probably find a way to tax it now that it's called
yeah,
that.
exactly, right.
They're like, now you have to pay medical taxes on
90
this.
90% of its revenue, or I think it was 90% of its revenue comes from medical uh asks on their from the profits from medical asks
Jesus,
on
that's
their
bleak.
platform, so it's technically considered a medical utility now. So like that kind of shit's crazy, right?
You know what's the
That's how
bleakest thing
broken the
about
healthcare
that?
system. What's that?
I don't think people would give me money if I was on GoFundMe.
Dude, because we live in
That's
Canada.
true.
No
We
one's
do
gonna give
live
us
in
money in
Canada.
Canada.
How about this? Instead of giving
Yeah.
me money to
um but
GoFundMe, just send us money for the podcast, and then we'll if enough people send me money, we'll do this every week. Don't worry, I'll pay Jeff's dad for sucking my beef.
me again, yeah.
Wait, is your dad still alive?
Yep.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I feel like it just derailed this if we got too much into your relationship
Yeah.
with your father.
Yeah. Let's not do that.
Have you
That's a whole
talked about that
story.
on the pod?
No, I don't think so.
Okay, we'll
I've
leave it
talked to
at
you
that.
about it, but yeah, yeah.
Let's just vague post it.
It's
Vague
awkward.
post Jeff's relationship with
It's an
his
awkward
father.
relationship. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mostly for me. I think for him it's fine. He's
Dude, though, that generation,
I know,
they
dude.
just like don't think about stuff. They're like,
They don't think about stuff at all. Yeah.
which is funny because there's some stuff I'm starting to do that now. Like this
Yeah.
Brian Thompson guy, you hear he got murdered, and I was like, I actually don't care at all that he got murdered.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
I
I'm not
like
pumped that he got murdered because he's like a CEO. I just don't care either way.
yeah, yeah, just really, really, really strongly indifferent to it.
Yeah.
Right? Like I don't know. And it sounds harsh to be that way, but like fucking whatever, it doesn't affect my day,
And
which
the
is a
weirdest
terrible way to
thing,
look at the world. But you know,
the
it's
weirdest
whatever.
thing is like some of the most like callous people on the internet who you think like just don't give a fuck about who lives and dies. They all seem to care about Brian Thompson dying. Like
Yeah, it's
Don
weird.
Jr., Donald Trump Jr. was like,
Yeah.
hey, internet, do your thing. And it's like, bro, nobody's gonna like internet detective this. And why do you want them to?
Yeah.
Like, you're like this beefy hunter guy. And then I was listening to Breaking Points today, and they're like, oh yeah, every once in a
Totally.
while Don Jr. shows up his like private schoolness and like how he's like grew up in this like super privileged upbringing, even though now he's like this like woodsy camper guy. He was also like a silver spoon guy at the same time. And then once in a while he lets it slip out.
Yeah.
Yeah. But my other thing that I think one of the reasons that all these right wing people don't like Luigi
Luigi
Mangione
Mangione.
even further than he took out another rich person and rich people stick together
Yeah.
is that he didn't buy his gun. So he didn't give their friends money. He made his own gun. We
He
can't
made
have
his own
people
gun.
making their own gun.
Right. What is that going to do to NRA registrations? It's going to drive it
Exactly.
down. Yeah.
Dude, I bet you the minute that making your own gun is accessible to every single person, the right wing will ban guns
Yeah. Yeah,
immediately
totally.
because of like,
Yeah, because
wait, we don't actually
they
want
can't control.
people to have
Yeah,
guns. We just want our rich friends who make weapons
guns to
to
make
have
money.
money.
Yeah,
We don't want people just making it themselves.
totally, man. That's like, yeah, that's a sick thing to think about. But totally, you're. I think you might be onto something there.
We can't have these murderers 3D
Running around
printing
with
their own
homemade
gun.
weapons. Yeah,
They gotta
totally.
buy their guns like I did.
Right from my friends who, yeah, totally.
Hey, you know what? If you 3D print your own gun, you won't get hauled into court like Hunter Biden when you buy a gun on crack. You can 3D print your gun on crack all you want.
You sure can.
You
sure
won't even
can.
need your president father to fucking
Check out this gun I 3D printed. Also, you can
pardon
smoke
you.
crack with it.
Oh man, bang!
Yeah, it's a crack pipe gun. It's the perfect weapon. Yeah.
Dude, if you're packing your own bullets, you could just like put a little crack behind the gunpowder.
Pow!
Yeah, it'll be
You get a
like
pull
instead of
off
when you're
of
like
it.
when you
Yeah,
blow the gun, you're just like
yeah, yeah, smoking it. You're smoking the powder.
the
Nice.
most dangerous way to smoke crack.
I think you
Russian
just
roulette
invented
and then huffing the gun.
Nice. I think you just invented a new thing by accident on the internet here.
There we go.
Yeah.
So on November 24th, Mangione arrives in New York City on a bus that originated in Atlanta, but it's not clear where he got on the bus.
San Francisco. If we go back to the other question,
Yeah, San Francisco's like halfway between Atlanta and New York, right?
Pretty close. Yeah, yeah, that sounds right.
He later stayed at a New York hostel using a fake ID.
Wow.
Of all the fucking nerves. And that's actually one of the things he's getting charged with is having a fake ID, which I wasn't aware was an actual federal crime.
I wonder if is it a federal crime or is it a state
I think
crime?
so.
Yeah.
I'll get to it at the end. I say what he's charged with. So, December 4th, Brian Thompson was shot around 6:45. I already talked about that. Luigi used a ghost gun he'd made with a 3D printer, but the top slide was an actual gun piece. And that explains why the gum jams in the video.
Right.
Oh, this is my favorite part. I forgot to mention this at the beginning when we were talking about how fucking horned up we were for this murder. Well, not for this murder, but just how it happened.
How
Like,
it
and it was
happened.
like
Yeah,
out of a
yeah, yeah.
movie. So immediately at the crime scene, they find 3 bullet casings. And on the bullet casings, it says deny, defend, and depose, which
Oh
everybody
yeah.
was saying was a throwback to this book that was titled Delay, Deny, Defend. And that's this book from like I think it's like 2010, somewhere around there, talking about how the health insurance providers just deny everything,
Right.
and then
Yeah.
like it's like kind of tells you how to get around it and like fucking fight them with legal or whatever. But now that book is number 3 on Amazon
Wow. Again,
because so
right?
many people bought it.
Like along with their green jean jackets
Dude, this
and
Luigi
masks.
guy is a marketing gold mine.
Yeah, totally.
And
Well,
I
and
got
it shows you the state of things too, right?
yeah.
Like when shit like that becomes number one sellers because of a violent act, it's like, fuck, what is wrong with this world? What is
Oh, dude,
wrong
I
with
would
it?
definitely. I was thinking about getting a Luigi too. I didn't want to like
Yeah.
order one because I don't want my fucking name on a list. But if they had them in a store around here,
I don't want my name on a list. You wouldn't get it because Canada Post is on strike. So it wouldn't even show up to your house.
true. That's one
Yeah.
of those things we could have talked about if we weren't talking
I
about
know.
Luigi Mangione for the
Yeah,
whole
yeah.
hour.
Yeah,
Oh wait,
totally.
I
What?
do want to say one thing.
Sure.
So I went viral,
You did.
quasi viral.
When was this? Did I
I
miss it?
it was on Twitter.
Right.
Her
So I missed it.
somebody
Not
was
there.
somebody was bitching about Canada Post and how it's
Yep.
ruining small business, and I was like, is it just me, or does arguing about how much small business is affected by Canada Post going on strike prove that Canada Post is an essential service that we
Yeah.
need?
Yeah.
And it's got like I don't even know if it's going viral, but it's got like 500 likes and 69 reposts, and I'm like, enough, guys.
Yeah.
Shut up. I don't. This was like 3 days ago. I don't even care. I'm like Jeff's dad. I don't even think
I don't
about
even
this
care.
post
I don't even
anymore.
care about this post.
Just
Yeah.
your
I'm
dad's
on to
like the
other
subplot of
things.
this
It
podcast.
totally is the subplot.
But it's
That's right.
funny because I was like, I can't be an influencer because it's like every time I go to Twitter now, there's just I'm like, oh,
More new
fucking
likes.
more notifications, and it's
Yeah.
all about this fucking post. It's all these idiots telling me how much they hate Canada Post and how they make too
Man.
much money, and I'm like, I'm not arguing with you.
Dude, if it wasn't for people like Canada Post, we
Listen
would
to
all
my
be
podcast if
we'd
you
all
want my opinions.
yeah, totally. Yeah. Nice joke, man. If it wasn't for people like Canada Post and unions like Canada Post, we'd all be working 7 days a week.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm fucking with them on this.
Reach it, Jeff.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's not much to preach. I mean, they're doing the right thing. They're trying to get fucking
Yeah.
healthcare and not a fucking 60-hour work week.
And you know how much their
Uh
fucking supervisors make?
no.
Like 69 grand a year. They're supervisors.
Yeah. Yeah.
I make more than that.
Yeah.
I'm not a supervisor.
So I mean, like, let them go on strike. Like anyone who says that Canada Post is making too much money is fucking ridiculous.
That
It's
was
like,
before inflation. That was like 10
yeah,
years ago they're making
right?
too much money.
Yeah,
But like
yeah,
they're not making too much money. It's just nobody's making enough money, is what you
yeah.
could argue with me.
And yeah, it's not even that. I mean, like, they're these are people standing up for workers' rights.
Mm-hmm.
Fucking, we need those, or else, like I said, everybody would like corporations would make us work 7 days a week and fucking
Yeah.
15 hours a day if they had their way, right? So if it
And
wasn't
I
for
think it's
unions
also
standing up for that,
sorry. I think it's
no,
also an example of how fucking Canada can't exist without it being publicly funded.
yeah,
Like the
totally.
nanny state that it is, I said that just for my older brother because he
Yeah, you were
hates
gonna
when I
have to
call
say
Canada the nanny state.
that.
But like
Some
Canada
of this shit
Post,
is real. We're too small of a country, spread too far. Like it's a
yeah,
giant landmass with the same amount of people as California in the entire country. In
yeah,
a country that's 25 times the size of California. We all live along the
yeah,
border. We rely on state funded fucking services so that we can keep this country moving.
yeah. And the thing is, like, our cities are 10 hours apart.
They're 10 hours
Can't
apart.
like Amazon and fucking DHL
Yeah.
and FedEx and Loomis and
Yeah.
there's one more I can't remember. They don't go to like fucking bumfuck urban areas,
No.
but Canada Post goes everywhere,
Yeah.
everywhere.
Yeah.
And you can't send somebody something from Amazon if it's in a small town. And the other thing is, we should stop having Amazon because it's just fucking the carbon footprint of them
Yes.
bringing me shit every day has to be astronomical.
I got
Plus,
a
it's always too
box.
small.
I got a
I hate it.
box from Amazon the other day too,
You
and I
got
know they're
what?
trying to a box. I got a box from Amazon, and I know they're trying to reduce like the box. Like they've gotten better about their boxes, but like still, I got this box with three other boxes in it, and the box was enormous, and the three things in it were like half the box. Like, what
You're
the
lucky
fuck
you
is
got it
going on?
in one shipment
That's true.
instead of three separate
Yeah,
ones.
which I think that I find that weird too. You order
Yeah.
things together, and they're like, "We'll ship them together," and then they show up in three separate boxes. You're like, "What in the fuck is
Yeah.
happening?"
Okay, so back to the shooting. Sorry.
Back to the shoot. No, we got off topic again.
Tangent Factory
Yeah,
strikes again.
Tangent Factory. Woo woo.
So we just left. We were just talking about the fucking deny, defend, depose.
Yeah.
So the alleged shooter, there at this point, he's still the alleged shooter because they don't know that. Anyways, he leaves on foot, gets on an electric bike, and goes to Central Park. The suspect was seen taking a cab at around 7 a.m. on the Upper West Side at an at an uptown bus station about 45 minutes later. So this is the thing I took from TikTok because what's that guy's name? Pearlmania 5000 or whatever, the guy with the red curly hair and the glasses, and he yells about stuff and he's like lefty, whatever. Anyways, he was saying that they found his backpack in like sorry, I got fake beer burps coming.
Uh-oh.
So it was like said on TikTok, misinformed that his backpack with the ghost gun and his jacket and full of Monopoly money. And that
That's
was like
weird.
when I heard that, I was like, this guy's fucking amazing. He just
Yeah.
leaves a backpack full of Monopoly money to further mock everybody. And it's by the merry-go-round. Oh, the symbolism of the healthcare industry and all this stuff. But now I couldn't find anything to corroborate that.
Right.
So,
So you're not sure it's real.
and I don't know if like, because like somebody said his ghost gun was in that original backpack. Some people said it wasn't. And then one of the reasons that some conspiracy theorists don't believe Luigi Mangione is the actual claims adjuster is because when they caught him in the McDonald's, he had in his backpack the ghost gun and he was still wearing the same clothes he shot the guy with. So they're like, wait, didn't they find those in the merry-go-round? So that also
Right.
probably why you can't find it. So one of the theories is they found his backpack with the gun and the coat that he was wearing, paid off Luigi Mangione, and said, hey, we know you got this back pain. Here's some cash. You look like this guy. How
Why
about
would
it?
he need cash if he's rich?
I don't know. Why do you hate healthcare if you're rich? I thought rich people got healthcare.
Yeah. Okay, so there's a question that I don't actually know the answer to.
Yeah.
Did he have a problem with his healthcare?
Mm. No, nobody knows for sure.
Yeah, I was gonna
But
say there's probably not any
oh,
information
another
on it.
thing somebody said was he's like almost 26,
Yeah.
and that's when you can't be covered by your parents' health care
Right. Yeah,
anymore.
yeah, yeah. Totally. In
So
Canada, I
I
think
don't
it's
know if he's like
28.
his parents had cut him off and would be like, to make you a man, you're gonna make it on your own. Or if he was like
Nice. Yeah.
one of those guys who's just
Stop
like,
going to
fuck you, mom
surf
and
camp.
dad.
Yeah.
I'm an independent fella. I'm gonna go live on my own or whatever. So it's hard to say.
Your parents' medical insurance doesn't cover you when you're at surf co-op.
Yeah,
Yeah.
apparently it did.
Yeah.
But
All right. There you go.
yeah, so that was one of the reasons. That was one of the things that people were saying, like why this happened now, like why Luigi Mangione
Yeah.
just
What made
snapped.
him snap? Yeah.
Yeah,
Totally.
snapped. But it's also like,
Are we calling
yeah,
him radicalized? Is he radicalized by the healthcare system?
yeah, I don't know. They didn't find a fucking catcher in the rye in his backpack.
Right.
So,
Yeah.
um, okay, so oh, here's a little side introduction. So, United Health Group puts this post up like about this guy. He's like, we are deeply saddened and shocked by the passing of our dear friend and colleague, Brian Thompson, the CEO of United Healthcare, blah, blah, blah. So they make this post on Facebook. When I looked, it had 72,000 laughing emojis that people replied to it
Holy
with.
shit. Yeah.
And this was like December 7th or 8th
Yeah.
because pretty much after I got to 72, I went back and checked and they had taken down so you couldn't see how many people
How many were
replied
on there?
what,
Yeah.
but only they could.
Yeah.
So it's probably
In the hundreds
way
of
over
thousands.
that.
Yeah, totally.
Um,
Again, I don't think people have a lot of sympathy for a guy who is basically denying people their paid rights to healthcare access, which is like that's a fucked thing to think of.
yeah. Oh fuck.
What's up?
Sorry, in my timeline,
Yep. Did you miss something?
I don't actually have them busting him.
Oh,
So
okay.
anyway, but anyways, I could just remember and tell you. So on December 9th in Altoona, the only reason I remember that is because I was like, oh, tuna, the fish.
Ah, the fish. I think it's
Altoona,
yeah.
Pennsylvania, like which is 4 hours away from where the murder took place. He's eating at McDonald's, and these two customers are like, "Oh my god, that guy looks like the fucking
The killer.
claims
The claims
adjuster.
adjuster, right.
Fuck, is
Sorry.
that a good name?" And then then like one of the people who works at McDonald's is like, "Hey, what do you fucking spill the tea? Tell me, give me all the
What's going on over there? Hot goss.
hot goss. I'm the Ritz." Sorry. Anyways,
Wow.
so the customers tell her, and then she's like, "Oh fuck, that does look like the guy. He's very hot, and I want to fuck him.
I know
So
what to
he
fuck
must
him.
be the murderer."
Yeah.
So she calls 911 and says, "Yo, get your ass over here. The claims adjuster's here." And then they come, and the fucking most fucked up thing is she was supposed to get like there was a 50,000
Like a reward?
reward tip,
Yeah.
but she didn't get it because she didn't call Crime Stoppers.
She called the cops
She
directly.
called 911. So they're trying to
9/11.
fucking loophole her
Yeah, they're
out of
loopholing
her
her.
50 grand. Um,
Just like the medical system.
wait, I found it.
What?
I'm such a dummy that when I was taking my notes, I didn't put a gap in it. So I thought
Ah,
that the United Health post was
yeah.
super long, but I got the end of it. So December 9th, Mangione was seen in Altoona, Pennsylvania by a McDonald's employee who told police they saw him around 9:15 a.m. Mangione was acting suspiciously.
Don't be suspicious. Don't be suspicious. Don't be suspicious.
And carrying multiple fraudulent IDs as well as a U.S. passport, according to the NYPD. Mangione was charged in Pennsylvania with carrying a firearm without a license, tampering with records of identification. So don't fuck with your ID, guys.
No fucking I and that's the fake ID charge,
Yeah.
probably.
Possessing instruments of crime and false identification to
I'm
law
possessing
enforcement.
instruments of crime right
Yeah.
here.
He was
Macaroni
later
and cheese.
charged with murder and 4 weapons felonies in New York City. Oh, another interesting side note, when they found him in his backpack, he had $8,000 cash US and 2 grand foreign, which they, for some fucking annoying reason, they
That's
won't say
Canadian
which
money.
foreign.
It's Canadian money for
Oh,
sure.
that'd
It's
be
Canadian
funny.
money. It's
They're like,
absolutely Canadian money.
it's purple and red. We don't know what this is. And
Italian pesos. I don't know what is the Italian the lira. That's it. I couldn't
yeah.
think of I couldn't think of the currency.
And he had like a EMF bag that like blocks the signal of a phone. So it's weird.
EMF.
And it's weird because they're like the way that like people were talking about, they're like this indicates sophisticated crime. So I'm not sure if that would like up his charges to like espionage or some weird shit. Because and then he was like, whoa, 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 that bag is waterproof. That's the only reason I have it. This
Yeah.
is not a sophisticated crime. And it's like, wait, we're not allowed to not let you track our phones or we get charged with sophisticated crime. I guess not
Right.
we, people in the
No.
States.
Yeah.
So that's like a little funky thing that if I had more free time and not a full-time job and a toddler, I would definitely look into and go down another rabbit hole on.
Of finding bags that are technically crime.
Yeah, and being like sophisticated and look into sophisticated crime so I could walk along that line and
Hey,
be
Dale.
like, it's waterproof. I'm not sophisticated.
Hey, Dale, cool backpack. Thanks. It's
Yeah.
for crime.
It's not
I
signal
put my
blocking.
phone in
It's
it, so
just
I'm
water.
illegal technically.
Yeah.
Cool.
And he said I don't. It's funny because they found his like notebook or whatever. That's where they got. I think what happened was the notebook was 260 pages or
Yeah.
something, but his manifesto is only one page. So somewhere they said he had a 262 page manifesto, but he doesn't.
He doesn't,
But
right.
he said that the gun was his, the backpack was his, and the money wasn't his. He don't know where it came from, and it was probably planted. It was
Ah.
pretty fucking wild to be like, yeah, that illegal 3D printed ghost gun that killed a guy. Yeah, that's definitely mine. But I don't know where the money came from. Ew. Why would I have $10,000? But
Yeah, totally.
I also think
And foreign currency.
$10,000 is
Yeah,
that
it's the magic
threshold.
customs window. Yeah.
Yeah. Like I don't know if it's just like you can't go through customs, but I also think it's illegal to have $10,000 on cash or something.
Yeah, it's not illegal. You have to declare cash over $10,000.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So that was probably like another thing to go along with the like bag that is like signal blocking.
Yeah.
Like, so it's
It's
kind of like stuff
it's the
like
right
that.
amount of cash to travel with so that
Yeah.
you're not going to get pulled over.
So that's like tickling my conspirasphere spider sense because it's like, wait a minute. Why would he have exactly $10,000,
Yeah,
which happens to be exactly the threshold?
totally.
So
Yeah.
I
All
think
right.
there's some
So
funky stuff on this. And I think it's either there's only two options here. One, this isn't this isn't the claims adjuster, and Luigi Mangione is just a guy that they put in so people would stop jerking off. Well, I guess they started jerking off because he's
it's
so
so
hot.
hot. Yeah.
But another thing too, that could be why they were like, don't post the whole manifesto
Right.
because people who know Luigi be like, I don't think he talks like that.
Yeah.
Because callback to the fucking Unabomber, Ted Kaczynski, the only reason he got caught was because of his fucking pedantic way he
Yeah.
talks in
Yes.
his
Yeah. And
manifesto.
it's
His
written the
brother's
same
like,
way. Yeah,
I
it's
only
definitely
know
him.
one guy who talks like a bitch like that, and
Yeah,
that's
who
my
talks like a
brother.
bitch like that? My brother would say the same thing. I only know one guy who writes like a nerd like that. It's my
Be like,
brother.
oh, this guy sounds like a bitch. Sounds like my
This guy
brother
sounds like a little
Ted.
bitch. This is probably my brother.
Hey, Popo, that's my brother Ted.
Yeah, totally.
So I'm thinking that either like that would also be why they're like, don't post these pictures.
Yeah.
You could tell it's not him because in the murder, the video and stuff, you could only see this.
That yeah, just like the eyeball. So and then that's the thing. So I saw that picture, like the original image of just like
Mhm.
the slit and like the mask and stuff. And then you keep seeing these pictures online, and he's got like a super thick
Yeah,
eyebrow,
the
and you're
eyebrows
like,
don't match.
the
That's
eyebrows
what
don't
everybody's
match,
saying.
man. The eyebrows don't
But
match.
you know what?
But
He's Italiano, and they grow their fucking eyebrows fast.
yeah, I
So
guess
I think old
they
Luigi
grow there.
Mangione wasn't
They
able
grow
to
their
like
eyebrows.
get his little fucking manicure on his eyebrows for the 5 days he was in the wind,
I feel
and they
like I should
grew
know what
back
that's
in that
called.
time.
I feel like I should know what that's called, like the eyebrow manicuring. There's probably like a name for it.
A unibrow?
Yeah, I mean, I only have one eyebrow, but I pluck it.
Yeah, you get the
I take
Luigi
care of it.
Mangione
I'm
sculpting.
French. I get that. Yeah.
You want to
Uh,
be jealous of me, and
yeah,
you want
I do. I know. Look at you.
these eyebrows?
You have naturally separate. You have eyebrows plural. I
Never,
only have eyebrow.
never shaped. In
Wow, they're
grade 9,
gorgeous.
some
They're
girl told
perfect.
me that I had very nice eyebrows, and I didn't know how to react because I was an idiot when I was a
Yeah.
kid.
Well, you do have very nice
And I
eyebrows.
didn't know what
Treasure them.
flirting was. I was like, you think so? They're
I
just
still don't know what
eyebrows.
flirting is. Yes.
And then I left. And then I was like, then like when I was 30, I was like, oh, that girl was
Oh
hot. I probably
shit,
could
you
have
wanted it.
smooched her with my 14-year-old body.
There
And
you
I was
go.
like, wait, is thinking about myself in high school kissing a girl, is that wrong?
I think so.
Because I was only 14.
That's Epstein Island territory right
Do
there.
your own memories and thoughts get you grandfathered past that?
uh, geez, that's a tough one. You could get canceled for that thought.
Like if I think about girls in my high school, do I have to like if I picture them because I had a crush on them, do I
Oh,
have to
okay,
like
okay.
picture myself inside my 14-year-old body? Is that okay?
Here's one for you. What
Yeah.
if you think about girls from your high school's moms?
Hey, yeah.
Because they would be appropriately aged now at
Yeah.
this point.
We could listen to sweet 90s music.
Yeah. Oh, nice. I like it.
We could listen to
Stacy's mom.
alternative rock.
Yeah, so alternative rock. You mean the classics, classic
Yeah.
rock? Hey,
60% of all music was alternative.
yeah, we're at 9:05. The tight hour is up. Are you reading the manifesto?
Okay, I got to read the manifesto. I can't
Yeah.
tease these people.
You can't tease them. You can't give them a little Luigi Mangione eyebrows and then
Yeah, I can't
not send them home
promise
for you.
them that I'm going to read out loud and not deliver. Couple points that weren't in the timeline. I just wanted to point
Yeah.
out. Somebody online equated it out. They said that 40,000 people died directly because of Brian Thompson's rejection of services.
Yeah.
Take with that what you want. He was being investigated for dumping stocks, and he was supposed to testify in the case. This is also one of the conspiracy reasons that it was a setup hit.
Mm-hmm.
And another reason why Luigi Mangione isn't the claims adjuster, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
United Health, the company spent $5.8 billion on lobbying in 2024 and $10.76 billion in 23. And this is courtesy of my man Isaac Weishaupt, who runs a cult. Anyways, yeah.
Eyes Wise.
So United Health tried to create a monopoly of hospices and nursing home in November of 2024. But the only way that this was stopped was the DOJ, the Department of Justice, stepped in. You might remember November 2024 because that's when fucking Luigi Mangione went missing. So that could have also been the thing that drove him over, was because United Health was going directly after what made his family their billions in the first place, and that was the nursing homes that they were opening. CEO was making $10 million a year when he got shot.
Jesus Christ.
Doesn't make it any more okay, but it also doesn't make it any less okay, if you know what I mean.
I hear you.
Bill Burr and Joe Rogan are like, these guys are gangsters. I'm just talking the way every single person with a brain talks about healthcare CEOs who deny service and make $10 million. But a lot of the legacy media is like, can you believe Bill Burr said something bad about rich people?
Yeah, totally.
Yeah. And then people are offering to pay Luigi's legal fees. And then they interviewed I can't remember where it was, but they're interviewing his lawyer.
Yep.
And they're like, would you take the money from these people? And he was like, weird and cagey. I was like, no. He honestly answered like that. And I was like, are you a lawyer or a teenage girl?
A teenage girl. Yeah, for sure.
Okay.
No.
Okay. We will close with the manifesto.
Let's do it.
This is okay. So, disclosure, this was from the police who had typed it out from the handwritten notes in his notebook.
Oh, okay.
So I got this from Ken Klippenstein. He's the only one, I don't know if he's the only one anymore, but he was the first one to publish the whole thing,
right?
As opposed to just pieces.
I was going to ask you if you got permission from big media to read this whole thing.
No, it's Ken Klippenstein.
Okay.
I'm sure if I drive people, you should all read his stuff. He's a really good, one of those independent journalists. Okay, without further ado.
I can't wait.
To the feds, I'll keep this short because I do respect what you do for our country. To save you a lengthy investigation, I state plainly that I wasn't working with anyone. This was fairly trivial. Some elementary school engineering, basic CAD, a lot of patience. The spiral notebook, if present, has some straggling notes and to-do lists that illuminate the gist of it. My tech is pretty locked down because I work in engineering, so probably not much info there. I guess he's talking about if they're trying to get into his laptop and stuff. Yeah. I do apologize for any strife or traumas, but it had to be done. Frankly, these parasites simply had it coming. A reminder, the US has the #1 most expensive healthcare system in the world, yet we ranked roughly number 42 in life expectancy. United is the indecipherable, so I guess they couldn't make it out, largest company in the US by market cap, behind only Apple, Google, Walmart. It has grown and grown, but as our life expectancy, so I guess that's supposed to say, but has our life expectancy? No. The reality is these indecipherable have simply, I'm just going to say these cunts have simply gotten too powerful and they continue. Sorry?
Redacted.
Indecipherable cunts.
Sorry, carry on.
I totally lost my spot. Okay, wait.
That's my fault.
These cunts have simply gotten too powerful, and they continue to abuse our country for immediate profit because the American public has allowed them to get away with it. Obviously, the problem is more complex, but I do not have space, and frankly, I do not pretend to be the most qualified person to lay out the full argument. But many have illuminated the corruption and greed, e.g., Rosenthal and Moore. I'm guessing that's Michael Moore. Decades ago, and the fuck, sorry. But many have illuminated the corruption and greed, e.g., Rosenthal and Moore, decades ago, and problems simply remain. It is not an issue of awareness at this point, but clearly power games at play. Evidently, I am the first to face it with such brutal honesty. And that's the whole fucking manifesto. Short and sweet.
I find it interesting, man. Like every time I hear a manifesto, I get weird. I get weird when I hear them because it's like that could have just been like a Facebook post from several years ago that you were ashamed of that you wrote. Right?
Yeah.
Like it doesn't. It's just it gives me the weird the ick, as the kids say.
Yeah, like this manifesto, I'm like, that makes too much sense. It's too eloquent, it's too concise, and it's not the ramblings of a madman.
I
Give me
disagree.
crazy.
No, I disagree that with you that it's eloquent. I mean, like, there's lots of spelling errors, there's redacted pieces, there's like lots of kind of bullshit in it. It's like it's kind of meh.
Keep in mind that somebody was typing this off of something handwritten.
Yeah, totally. I get
well,
it.
I don't mean it's eloquent as in like it's a masterful written.
You mean more
as
less. You mean
compared to what
concise.
you think a manifesto would be.
No,
it's pretty eloquent.
Eloquent's not what you're talking about. It's concise. It's like it's to the point.
Compared to manifestos, it's eloquent.
Yeah,
I guess it's not.
It's not the ramblings of a crazy
flowery.
Person,
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, totally. Yeah. There's not.
It's not. I live in the woods without toilet paper manifesto.
Yeah, totally. Well, that doesn't sound terrible.
Yeah. So yeah, that's all my notes. What do you think?
It's such a weird story, and I guess it's still kind of unfolding too, right?
Oh man, yeah.
Like what I'm gonna say,
yes,
may be controversial.
Yes,
and I don't know if I even believe it, but maybe.
Are you Team Luigi or are you a bootlicker?
I'm a bootlicker. No, I'm just kidding. There's this might not be the last that we see happen like this.
Oh right? Yeah, definitely. People it's
like it's almost going to be like, is this perhaps the start of the revolution?
I don't want a revolution, but like
you don't. But there's a lot of people who do.
I'll put it this way. I think the best way to explain this is society has showed the CEOs that they can be touched.
Yeah.
I.e., they are not untouchable.
They're untouchable. Yeah.
You don't have to agree with murder. You don't have to agree with what happened, but it definitely will change things knowing that these people aren't invincible.
Right.
And it's weird because like the weird thing about this is it's like it's almost esoteric if you start thinking about it, because you start thinking about it like how the police don't want the whole manifesto put it in. All the legacy media is like, stop showing like this guy's face, show him from the back and stuff. And then it's like, it's almost like shows you how fragile our like social construct or contract is, like how we've all bought into the way society runs. But we also, it just seems like we're all doing it against our will and we all want things different, but we're like too scared to act on it.
Yeah,
so it's like
the systems are so firmly entrenched that we can't really revolt.
But the thing is, I don't think they're firmly entrenched. This makes me feel like they're a lot less firm than I did December 3rd.
I totally see what you're saying, and you're right. Like it gives people like a tangible fuck the system.
Yeah, like and that was another thing about COVID. It wasn't, to me, it wasn't how hard we got locked down and how much that the government oppressed us and forced their will upon us. To me, it was just how much they were making it up as they went along and how much they curtailed it to the public outcry. And it's like, wait, we can actually change things?
Right. Yeah.
If we all just agree. And if you cunts just tell me I'm smart and agree. Okay, wait. I was gonna say and agree with all my posts online, but I just started off by saying how annoying it was when too many people reply to me.
Yeah, totally. To
So
harken it
listen to this
back
podcast, change the world, right?
and harkening it back to my dad, I think maybe if we're gonna bring this full circle.
Yeah.
Maybe it's just easier to fucking not pay attention and
Yeah.
just put your head down and just sally forth.
All I want is to be paid enough money that I don't want to pay attention.
Yeah, I guess. And you're right. That is the broken social contract, right?
Give us the bread. We've got the circus.
We're now at the point where it
Yeah.
costs too much to live, so we're noticing that shit's dumb and we got to
Yeah.
fix it.
This is the point we're at as a society. We're like, hey,
This is enough. Enough's fucking enough. Why is broccoli $8? Broccoli should not be
Hey.
Broccoli is not an $8 product. It's
hot
fucking
dogs
broccoli.
used to be cheap.
Yeah.
Hey.
Hey. Yeah. You're very. That's
Why
very
is
Gaffigan
chicken
of you.
cost more than gold?
Yeah, totally. Right. Like shit's out of control. Right.
Hey, society.
It's inflation.
Hey.
It's inflation, says Galen Weston behind a wall of stacked
greed
$10,000 bills.
Yeah.
Yeah, totally. All right, we should wrap this up. I got
Yeah,
go.
my girlfriend just poked her head in to give me murder eyes because it's taking too long.
Yeah, breaking news. Yeah.
The universal sign for I have a toddler and you've got to take your turn.
It's your fucking turn. Yeah. Yeah. That's it. That's literally.
Okay, it wasn't that mean. I was just over exaggerating. She basically walked in.
She's wonderful.
And with her eyes said, hey.
Hey. Nice work, man. Well, thank you for watching Outrage Factory. Give us money. This has been episode
258.
58.
Should probably say that at the beginning, but whatever.
Talking about Luigi Mangione. Thanks for joining us, and stay angry.
Stay angry.
Stay angry. Over the top.